Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to this Wednesday's edition of News at Noon. I am Fredonia Radio Systems News Director Cascio Fonseca here today with news assistants Lee Pye and Joshua Ribakove. And in this top of the hour update, we'll bring you the latest on news and events around SUNY Fredonia's campus and community, as well as the latest in national news and weather. First up, we'll bring it to Lee for our latest campus news updates.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lee Pye with your campus news. Ever wondered if you could just get a little closer to touching the stars? Well, now you have that opportunity because public astronomy nights are returning to SUNY Fredonia. Beginning on April 11th, the Kelly Family Observatory will be open to the public for reservations. This includes a tour of the night sky and an opportunity to view celestial objects through a telescope. Each session will hold a maximum of 30 people, and reservations are needed. Public astronomy nights will be every Tuesday at 8 p.m. in April, 9 p.m. in May, 10 p.m. in June and July, 9 p.m. in August, and 8 p.m. in September and October. The Kelly Family Observatory is located on the top of the Science Center building on campus. To get reservations, go to the Fredonia campus website. The Chautauqua Safety Village and the Fredonia University Police are teaming up for a car seat safety inspection. Certified technicians will show you how to properly install a car seat for the safety of your children when you're on the road. This will be on Saturday, March 25th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Facility Services Complex off Ring Road, right next to the university townhouses. Hail Fredonia Records is hosting an acoustic night. Student bands and singers such as Sasha McCoy, Isabel Mowers, and Howlin' Pals will be playing on Friday, March 24th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Blue Lounge in the Williams Center, also known as where the old Tim Hortons used to be. All proceeds go to Hail Fredonia Records' 7th annual dog walk to raise money and awareness for the Institute of Autism Research. This was Lee Pye with your campus news.
Thanks, Lee. Next up, we'll have local news. And in local news for today, the SUNY Fredonia College Council welcomed a new member and 3 recently hired school administrators last week. Richard Morris Rowe, who was the City of Dunkirk's attorney until January, had his first meeting as a council member. A trio joining President Stephen Colson's cabinet also introduced themselves. Michael Kelly is the new Vice President for Finance and Administration, starting work about a month ago. He graduated from SUNY Fredonia in the 1990s. Quote, "I've met some amazing people and continue to meet more amazing people each day." Kelly said he looks forward to bringing Fredonia where we all want it to be and have a successful future for the college for hopefully the next 200 years. Karen Rohr also introduced herself. She is in her second week as Vice President for University Advancement. Finally, Michael Quadio was introduced as SUNY Fredonia's new Chief Information Officer. In charge of campus technology, he is the first permanent Chief Information Officer on campus in 2 years. Colson said the 3 hires complete his cabinet. Quote, "Stephen and his team have done a wonderful job in choosing these candidates," College Council President Frank Pagano said. And in special local news for today, this coming Wednesday, March 29th, Fredonia alumni Chimes of Bayonets play at BJ's in downtown Fredonia. All members of the band graduated from Fredonia in the spring of '99, and some were members of Fredonia Radio Systems. Come on out next Wednesday and support some great music. That's all for local news for today. In national news, we bring it to Josh.
Good afternoon, folks. I am Joshua Ribakove with today's national and international news. The state visit of China's President Xi Jinping to Moscow is over, and here are some of the biggest takeaways about China-Russia relations and the war in Ukraine. With Putin being shunned in the West, relations with China are a must-have for the Kremlin. Over the past year, China has made up a third of all Russian exports, and Russia has become China's top oil supplier. According to a joint statement published by Putin and Jinping, the goals of the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China are to expand the scale of Sino-Russian trade, consolidate all-round energy partnership, and improve the level of financial cooperation, including the use of local currency for bilateral trade and investment. And despite China's alleged position on peace talks for Kiev and Moscow, Putin continues to insist that Ukraine recognize Russian authority over illegally occupied territories that Russia does not even have full military control of. While Xi Jinping was visiting Moscow, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida met in Kiev with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a surprise visit yesterday. In a news conference on Tuesday, Zelensky called Japan, quote, a defender of the international order and a longtime friend of Ukraine, end quote. Zelensky also accepted Kishida's invitation to attend Japan's G7 Hiroshima summit by video conference in May. The G7 summit is an international meeting that happens every year in which leaders from France, the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, Italy, and Canada meet to discuss the global economy, regional issues, and various global-level issues. At their meeting, Fumio Kishida also told Ukraine that Japan will be providing $30 million to a NATO fund to provide non-lethal military gear, such as bulletproof vests, medical supplies, and surveillance drones. Google's generative AI program, Bard, is officially in its next stage of production, having just opened up a waitlist to consumers in the United States and the United Kingdom. Google appears to be taking its AI competition with Microsoft slow and steady so far, especially after a social media blunder that cost Google $100 billion in February. Bard will be in direct competition with ChatGPT, which is also on to its next stage of production. Yesterday, OpenAI just unveiled GPT-4, the next version of ChatGPT. Google has a tough competition ahead of them, as GPT-4 has showcased their ability to work using images as a part of its AI generation, a huge step beyond simple text generation. GPT-4 is even capable of writing computer code, and yesterday's demo included a video of the program writing the code for and previewing a website based off a hand-drawn image. That does it for today's national and international news. Back to you, Cascio.
Thanks, Josh. Finally, we'll take it back to Lee for today's weather forecast.
The Northern Chautauqua Weather Update, being brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hello, it's Lee Pye again with your weather today. The weather today is nice and warm for Fredonia. It's 52 degrees Fahrenheit and a cloudy day. The wind is nice and calm with 9-mile-per-hour winds. It feels like 53 degrees with a high of 53 degrees and a low of 37 degrees. Thursday, tomorrow, will be at 53 degrees and rainy, so make sure to have your umbrellas ready. That's all from me. I'm Lee Pye with your weather report.
Thank you, Lee and Josh. That'll wrap it up for this Wednesday's edition of News at Noon. Local news for this broadcast was prepared and read by Cascio Fonseca. National news was prepared and read by Joshua Ribakove, while campus news and weather were prepared and read by Lee Pye. Board operations for this broadcast were performed by Alex Erwin. Join us for some more top-of-the-hour news Friday on High Noon Friday. Until then, take care.